Hey everybody, this is Jeremiah at Reed Racing. We are back to put the rear end in the car today. In the last couple videos, we freshened it up, put new hubs, new seals, all that stuff on it. If you haven't seen those videos yet, I'll leave a link up here in the corner. It's been a week or two since I put a video out. It's the longest I've gone without making a video since I started doing them regularly. Just got busy, but anyways, this one's not as informative. I'll do a more informative video later when I'm actually setting bar angles and stuff like that. But this kind of just shows you the process of putting it in the car. And then in the next video, we're going to add some mounts for the fuel cell so I can put the fuel cell into the car. And then we're going to put the fuel cell in. So make sure to check out that video. As always, if you guys enjoy these videos, give them a thumbs up. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Helps me out a lot. That way you guys can follow along as we finish building this car and doing all our racing this summer. And with that, I'm going to kind of run through what we did in this video because some parts are kind of dark. And then there was one that was dark enough that you couldn't see anything. So I just left that out, but I'll get to that. So with that, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do in this video is put the left side limiting chain on. That basically just keeps the rear end from dropping out since there's no bars under the rear end. It's an overslung car. Keeps the rear end from dropping out, or keeps your shocks from having to hold the rear end up. So we got the left side one on. The right side one I still need to get a bracket for, so that one's not on yet. But after that, we put the true trailing arms on, one on this side, one on that side. Then after we put the trailing arms on, we put springs in. I didn't have that in the video. We put the pull bar on here. I still got to get some all thread and a couple nuts and make the adjusters for those. I just put spacers in there for now. And then we put panhard down here on. I still got to connect shocks and stuff, but I want to make sure I get that chain on before I do that. So that's kind of a quick running through, and now we'll get to the rest of the video. Okay, so we finally got the rear end ready to go in the car. We got both rotors bolted up. I went and got bolts today so I could bolt it up. And then we got both 2-link brackets kind of in the spot they're supposed to be and tightened down. I went ahead and put the old spring cups back on for now, just to have their locations where I want them to be. And then I may end up putting those spring cups on later. We'll see what happens. And I got both chain limiters on here. So now we're ready to get the rear end into the car and get everything set. So we got this left side limiting chain hooked up. On the right side limiting chain, there's no mount. There's a shock mount back here because in IMCA the shocks have to be mounted behind the rear end. So that has to be my shock mount. I don't have a chain mount on the front, so I'm gonna have to weld one on. But for now, we're gonna put these 2 bars on. I don't have the bar hooked to the bottom of the rear end on that side, but I already had it on this side. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in. So now that the trailing arms are in, the next thing we do in the video is put the pull bar on. It was too dark in that video to see what we're doing. It's essentially the same as putting the trailing arms on. You got a heim on each end, bolt goes through it, one on the rear end, one on the frame. So that's what happens that you guys don't see. I also just made some spacers which these aren't even really tight, to kind of hold that where it needs to be for now. I'm also going to get a couple bolts that are all thread. You put a nut on each side of this that are connected. And then as you turn the bolt, it moves this side to side. So once we have that pull bar in, then we're going to start putting the panhard bar on. We put the climber mount on in the beginning of the video. And then we're just basically going to undo that bolt, put the heim on, bolt that up, and same on the other side. got the rear end of the car. I obviously still need to do a few things, like put the right side limiting chain mount on, put the shocks on, put calipers on, stuff like that. But that's just minimal stuff. In the next video, we're gonna put the fuel cell in after we weld on some mounts. So you guys make sure to stay tuned for that one. That video should drop probably Saturday morning. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Helps me make more videos. And then make sure to check out our Facebook, Instagram. All of our partner links are all down below in the description. We've got a lot of work left and about 3.5 weeks to do it. So it's going to be busy. Hopefully I can get a lot of videos out there for you guys in the same time. This is how the car currently sits. We have about 25 days before we are supposed to go to our first race. So we got a lot of work ahead of us, but it'll get done. But with that, we'll see you guys in the next video.